Hey everyone. All right, well, I've had a lot of movies to review. Let's go ahead and look at one that's not something that I usually want to brag about. It's not a horror movie, it's not a sequel, it's not something big and box office-y. I mean, I guess it kind of is, but no, it's a simple kind of film. It's an Oscar contender. I know that's not really a genre that I should be calling a movie, but I still like to watch the Oscars every year. I know a lot of people usually turn away being like, the Oscars mean shit. But I still think it's worth watching. I mean, come on, it's fun for me. Okay, you can say I'm not a real movie buff. I think the Oscars make sense, but I don't really believe that. I still think it's worthwhile. So yeah, I'll still tune into it, and I like to make sure there's enough movies that'll be nominated I can know about, so I could actually have a reason to watch the Oscars. So that's when I pick what movies could maybe be part of that category. But regardless, at the same time, I still just also choose what movies I want to see based on what they got. So now here's one coming out that certainly seems one that's going to probably be the highlight of the year, probably the best movie of the year, maybe. The year's not over yet, but who knows? From the looks of it, it seems like it probably could be that. It's a film called One Battle After Another. Now, the movie's reviews have been pretty high, so that is a good reason to want to see this movie. But I have to have other reasons. I can't just see it because I know everyone else loves it. I gotta have some more preferences to it. And thus I did. It was directed by famous Paul Thomas Anderson. However, that doesn't count because I have to admit I have yet to see any of his other films. He's made a lot of acclaimed movies. I just need to find which ones I actually want to watch of his right now. Well, I have seen this one, so that's good. This film features Leonardo DiCaprio as the star. I always enjoy him. I think he's a pretty great actor. So, yeah, that's a good reason to want to see this movie. It's got a lot of action, crime, suspense. Those are things I love. So, that's a good reason to want to see this movie, too. And yes, it certainly does seem to have a big reputation. A lot of people who've seen it say it's quite amazing. It probably has enough acclaim for people to probably call it the best movie of the year. Maybe it could change again, but as of now, it seems like it's at that point. Anyway, whatever happens, it looked like it'd be great. So, of course, I knew that someone who loves to see as many movies as I like to, I went to go see it. And, let's go ahead and see how much I can review of it. The problem is this movie was so long. It was 2 hours and 40 minutes, so hopefully this review will make enough sense. I mean, hey, if it doesn't make sense, I guess it's a good thing. I don't want to spoil it for you people, because probably be good for you want to see it too. I don't know. Let's see how well I can do. I am gonna just point out if I did enjoy this movie or not. What did I like about it? What did I not like about it? That's the main gimmick. Let's talk. So this movie features 4 different genres to tackle. It's got action, crime, drama, and thrillers. Yeah, I'm sure those are 4 great genres for a movie. I'm sure you can get a great movie out of those. So how does it utilize them? Well, let's talk about what the action has in this movie. It's quite a lot. It's basically shootings, explosions, and probably my favorite aspect of action in this movie, car crashes. Yes, there are a good amount of car crashes in this movie, and all of them are pretty damn awesome, I gotta say. I know it's kind of strange for me to love a movie for its car crashes, but this movie does pretty great with them. They look pretty practical. I can't confirm if all of them were practical or not. I would hope they were. It'd be great to see more movies actually crash cars for real. But they look real enough, and I can applause that. The action in this movie consists, of course, of people getting shot, people running away, and of course the occasional car chases. There are a good amount of those in this movie, and like I said, they're a pretty big highlight for the film. I love them. There's like a scene in near the beginning of the movie where they have to, where there's a car chase, and essentially they try to maneuver around as many cars as they can, where they of course hit cars, crash into other cars. It's just a lot of damage. And then later on in the movie, we get another heavy, fast car drivings, and one person who's driving gets shot, and then the car flips off the road and explodes, so that was awesome. It's just car crashes here and there. That's probably the highlight of the action in this movie. But you know what? Even other than the car crashes, some of the other action in this movie, including, of course, all the shootouts and, trying to not get shot, those are found in the movie. I am impressed with how much there is. for a movie that's so acclaimed, you think that there'd be more time focused on, just being dramatic and limiting action. But I like that this movie doesn't do that. It extends action, throws as much exciting stuff as it can. It's gonna be a great movie, but also a pretty exciting one for all those who don't care about how emotional a movie is. They just want to see something exciting because that's how I kind of used to be as a young kid. So I'm glad to see that this movie was capable of doing that, putting all of its emotions and making sure there's enough action to keep it entertaining. So if I was younger, I probably would love this movie too, even though I probably wouldn't be allowed to see it. But hey, that won't stop me. Now for the crime, this movie's crime story ties in pretty well with what the main story is. The main story is a crime focus. It's like this couple who essentially are pretty dangerous. Like in the opening, they're essentially something that can prove as a real threat to people. Then there's all these robberies, heists, car chases, kidnappings, all the simple crime stuff you'd expect in a big movie. And this movie will have that. It will be kind of confusing to put together who's in the right here and there. Sometimes it's kind of hard for me to tell who I'm supposed to side with or who I should feel bad for the most, but I guess I can give the movie credit for doing that, making both sides valuable. It's great for a movie to kind of give that focus, not make it to where we obviously need to root for the hero or, it's good that we can root for the antagonist, but now in this case, it's just both sides have a purpose. So yeah, I'll pause the movie for that. The crime in this movie is pretty great because it kind of puts both sides at a point. You can have problems with one side, but then have other problems with another. But overall, I'm able to still fall well enough with both of them. Maybe I like one more than the other, but I don't have to choose one easily. So I applaud the movie for giving us that. Drama. Now, drama in this movie is probably the weakest aspect of all the four genres. The drama in this movie is great. Let's just talk what it is. It's father and daughter moments. It's where like the father's like, oh, you pissed me off, stop it. And the daughter's like, oh, you're such a drunk, annoying dad. Get off your high ass and do stuff. It's kind of that kind of drama here and there. There's sort of the family dynamic thing, racial differences. That's a big aspect in the movie. I know that's kind of controversial for people to like, but I guess the movie doesn't make it too annoying, so that's good. Overall, the crime and the drama in this movie is great. I mean, it's not too annoying. I'll thank the movie for that, but it almost reaches that level. I'm glad it doesn't, but the drama in this movie could have maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm just not a fan of those movies where it's all about father and daughter not getting along, but I don't know. It still worked well enough. I guess I can thank the movie for not making it too annoying and obnoxious. I feel like out of all that genres I went for this movie, drama was not one I was too excited with. But hey, if you do like the kind of father and daughter films, then maybe it won't bother you as much because again, it does handle it not as annoyingly as other films. It's annoying at like one small bit, but after that, it kind of just goes off of them kind of just being, not too wholesome either. It's not like moments where they're way too wholesome. It's just moments where they're, not 100% in love with their dynamic, but they still work with it as well as they can. And they only argue like once or twice during this film. So that's a good sign, I guess. And now, what about the suspense? How does the suspense work in this movie? Well, fine. Well enough. There's lots of course, lots of driving away from danger. It's like getting in danger. Like the daughter in this movie is the main target that has to try and escape from all the danger that's being put with her. I'll talk more about that when we get to the story, but yeah, the drama in this movie was pretty much about as good as the suspense this movie has. It's not a movie that I'll remember for its suspense. I'll applaud the suspense for when I watch the movie, but when I'm talking about it, there's not much I can say about how suspenseful it is. It is more so just how they can hide away from the threat that they're after, trying to survive, trying to get away with their crimes, doings, getting away with escaping, more so like what I'm saying there. I'm blabbering a lot, but yeah, the crime, the thriller part of this movie isn't the main part. It's there. It's just, if I'm gonna praise this movie, I don't really know if suspense is the one thing I'll give this movie all of its credit for. It's still great, and when watching the movie, I can still love it. It's just when talking about it, it's not the easiest for me to um, compare the movie with. If you know what I mean. Now, here's the hardest thing it's going to be for me to explain. What's the story like in this film? The story of this movie revolves around let's talk about how it opens. It's a couple. It's Leonardo DiCaprio playing a very go-to guy, along with his wife, who's African American. And before you call me racist, the movie does acknowledge that itself. It kind of adds into the plot of the film. She's all for danger. She's like the danger type, and they both just go along with their dangerous stuff they do. So at that point, it makes me think, is this just going to be like a Bonnie and Clyde thing? But as the film goes on, it changes. Because then it takes a different approach when it seems she becomes way too chaotic, and Leonardo DiCaprio just doesn't want that as much. He's kind of trying to keep himself at a small risk. But accordingly, then they have a baby. It's a black baby that they joke about. Yeah, anything I say about who's black in this movie is exactly what the movie points out. So don't call me racist for knowing people for being black. I'm just not good with personalities for many people. It's nothing to get to see. I'm getting off track. They have a baby, and eventually she turns 16, but when she does, it seems she's just chilling with Leo. They're on their own. The mother is gone, taken out of the picture. We don't really see her that much anymore. I can't remember exactly if it was that she was killed off or she went missing in some way, but either way, it's a father and daughter dynamic. And at that point, it makes you think this could be something like Finding Nemo, where the father's overprotective. Well, we do sort of get to that point where he's like, where are you going? Stop it. Leave me alone. Don't go out. But that doesn't follow too much. It only happens at one point, and from there, see, the daughter goes out one point with her friends, and then that's when the military gets involved. We have Sean Penn, who is super old in this movie. It makes me feel, God, still remember when he was young in the 80s. Look at him now. Jeez. See, really always been that old. Anyway, yeah, Sean Penn is one of the main military agents, or like he's a prime leader of the army or such, and she has to run away. So she does so, but then eventually is taken by one of her own, not family wise, but the sort of team that the wife was in. Well, one of them takes her, that being Regina Hall, the hilarious chick from Scary Movie, that the funny black chick from those movies. She was funny. Okay, I said black again, damn it. Anyway, yeah, she's in this movie. She's playing a serious role, which I'm not used to, if I'm being honest. Anyway, she takes her. She has to hide away from her, but that doesn't end up going too well. They eventually find her. Then she has to try and hide away again, but as it proves to be hard, as she ends up just getting captured anyway. And of course, Leo learns this, and he has to save her. So what does he do? He goes out. He finds Benicio del Toro to help him. Yeah, I remember him. I hope I pronounced the name right. But yeah, he's in this movie. He sort of helps out until eventually he's caught. So that proves once. So now it's up to Leo. He has to try and find her. He gets caught up in all the crap that he has to put up with. He's sort of a I can't handle this crap kind of person. It's a fun kind of character. I like those characters. But yeah, that's what he is. He has to try and find her. So that's kind of what the movie is. It goes in 3 different portions. One portion, it's dangerous husband and wife, or boyfriend and girlfriend. That's another thing I forgot about, how far their relationship is. But either way, that's one point they get through. And the second aspect is the father and daughter sort of having that rough dynamic. And then the third aspect, where they split up and now they have to find each other, but getting caught in all this danger that pretty much they don't want. That's kind of why the movie's called One Battle After Another. It's one crazy situation that happens and then another comes up. The story runs in 3 parts, and I do like that. And when I say 3 parts, I don't mean it's the movie does that part one this or part two this. No, it doesn't do that. That's just what I describe it as. But I was pleasantly entertained. I am able to explain the story better than I would for a movie that's so long. Granted, I probably messed up on some aspects. Probably there's a lot of aspects I must have messed up on, but I was able to understand the story well enough to be able to explain it like this because I know what happens. It's like it starts off with Leonardo DiCaprio having a girlfriend slash wife, either way, played by, I think it was Tiana Taylor was the name. So the first half is just her being dangerous and him going along with it despite how rough it gets. Second half, Leo has to take care of the daughter who is all goes all out, has very modern antics. She has a cell phone. She loves trends. She has they them friends. The movie acknowledges that. And frankly, I got annoyed by it, but still, yeah. And Leo's just like, what? So that's what the case is. And the third act, lots of crap occurs. The ending was interesting. Sean Penn gets shot, and like I mentioned earlier, the car crashes. It was pretty awesome to watch. But just as the movie looks like it's about to end, for some reason he's alive. He comes back. I don't know how. There's so much blood on his face. He's so old. I didn't think he'd come back, but he did. However, then he goes back to base and he finds an office, and then a bunch of gas leaks, and he just killed off again. Yeah, that's what happens. He dies, but then he survived. Apparently, he survived it. Then he goes into an office. A bunch of gas shows up. He goes into an office, and then a bunch of gas enters in. So then that's what kills him. Then they burn him. It was weird. But yeah, that was a weird thing. I don't know if that's something Paul Thomas Anderson does. Like I said, I haven't seen any of his movies yet, other than this one, which is kind of weird. But regardless, that's what happens. And of course, Leo just reunites with his daughter for her sake, and that's the movie's ending. The story has its faults here and there, but for a 2 hour and 41 minute film, I'm impressed with how well I can understand it, how well I can get into it. It probably just has to do with how much action and crime there is to it. So, for that reason, I think I can give one battle after another a high pass, a really high pass, a pass about as high as other great movies this year. Is it the best movie of the year, in my opinion? Well, it's probably not my personal favorite this year, but I do think it is in the top five for the movies I've seen. It's an 8 out of 10. It's got great action, great crime. Maybe the drama and ending story aspects here and there weren't the best, but they weren't awful. They were still passable. The movie was still lots of fun to watch. And if you're a fan of good action films, you will probably really love this movie too. If you're a fan of simple, acclaimed films, you will love this movie. There's all sorts of sides for people who can love this movie, and I think I'm a good example for that. I may not have seen any of Paul Thomas's other films. I may not be the ultimate drama lover. I may not be the wisest person to talk about what can be great in a movie, but I do understand as much as I could for this film. I still am a fan of DiCaprio. I still love action. I still enjoy tuning into the Oscars to see which films are nominated, which I'm pretty sure this one's got a chance. It's got a pretty good chance. Depending on what else comes out this year, maybe this will be the ultimate Oscar winner. Either way, I guess you can say it doesn't really matter for now. It's still a great movie. I loved it, so, it's got my approval, and you probably will like it too. Just it depends on if you're a fan of lots of action or lots of drama, whichever side you're on. If you prefer this movie to have more drama than action, maybe you will have a smaller opinion on it. But for people like me who just love seeing lots of action in the film, go check it out. It's worth a watch.